Everyone is talking about AI, but almost everyone is using it wrong. If you are still just asking a chatbot to write an email, you're leaving 90% of the power on the table. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Claude, the 4 family, Anthropic's absolute powerhouse. I'm going to show you which model to use so you stop wasting credits and have to use the secret method, but it's actually invitation. I think it's only government allowed to use it. So it's called the Mythos, but we'll break into that. So welcome back to ABR AI. This is our training series, Learn AI with me. So, all right. So we got the model. So we have the Haiku, the Sonnet, Opus, and the Mythos. So Claude isn't just one AI, it's a family of 3, well, technically 4. Think of them like your hardware specs. Haiku is your RAM. It's fast, it's cheap, it handles the boring stuff instantly. These are kind of like the different models you can use for essentially different purposes. Sonnet is your GPU. It's the workhorse that handles 90% of your creative and coding work. Opus is your high-end CPU. It's also the Claude's flagship. Slow, it's expensive. It can also solve logic problems that make other AIs hallucinate. So when they were saying about expensive, it's yes, the model to use is expensive, but also it consumes credits like tokens more. So here are some examples. For Haiku, it's lightning fast, perfect for bulk data, instant replies. So this is like your typical. I think Haiku and Sonnet is kind of like your typical ChatGPT prompt. For requesting. So you have summarize these 10 customer logs in 3 bullets each. So it's kind of just creating something pretty simple. Sonnet, a little bit more heavy, build a responsive React landing page for the AI course. So now you're getting into a little bit more heavy duty stuff. We can see it, but for Opus 4.7, you have the maximum reasoning, high stakes strategy, and deep logic. And the prompt, the Opus, is analyze this 100-page market reports for growth gaps. So it's a pretty hefty, and it eats a lot of tokens, and depending on what you feed to it. So Haiku. So use Haiku when you have a mountain of data. If you need to summarize 50 PDFs at once, don't waste money on Opus because it eats a lot of tokens. Use the prompt on the screen. Review these logs and extract the error, and this should be done in milliseconds. But for your everyday learn with me sessions, you want Sonnet 4.6. This is, the king of coding. It's more human in its writings and way more responsive than ChatGPT. If you're building a React app or a landing page, Sonnet is your best friend. So Sonnet is kind of the, when you go from like typing a prompt or typing a draft to, building a landing page, building a like a dropship thing. Sonnet is gonna kind of be that medium sweet spot for you. Balanced versatility. Sonnet 4.6 strikes the perfect balance between high-end intelligence and operational speed. It's the default choice for 90% of user tasks. So top-tier coding capabilities, nuanced creative writing, highly responsive chat interactions. So pretty neat. Then we're going to the heavy hitters. So now we have Opus. Now when you hit a wall, when the code won't run or strategy feels messy, you call in the Opus, the magna cum laude. But it's actually not. That's actually Mythos, but this is what's available for the general public. It is their flagship for now. It's built for deep reasoning. Opus is the heavyweight champion when the problem involves multi-step reasoning, philosophical nuance, or advanced mathematical strategy. Opus is the only choice. So we have the example prompt here. Review this architectural diagram and identify 3 potential security bottlenecks in the data flow layer. So it's a lot more in depth, a lot more research, and can be security related. So it didn't give me a prompt for the other ones, but I guess this is just an advanced version. So now we got the secret squirrel, the Mythos. You won't find it on the standard free tier or the paid tier, actually. It's the Anthropic's frontier for recursive thinking. Yeah, I'm not sure how to actually gain access to this. So yeah, I know right now, like it might be open to enterprise. I know that Claude is big on trying to reach the enterprise audience as well as the government contractors. So now we're breaking into even a little bit more when it comes to the Claude, and I'll show this in depth, in practice in depth on the next video with Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. Claude Chat is for talking. That's your typical ChatGPT prompt. Claude Cowork is your new standard for research. It actually navigates file with you. Let's see. And then we got the. But for my devs that are watching, you need Claude Code. It lives in your terminal. It can see your whole file system, find bugs, fix them agentically. It's not a chatbot. It's not just a chatbot, I should say. It's a junior developer or a senior developer, in my sense, because I'm not a dev, or I'm actually a network individual, a network security. So I don't know nothing about code. But for the purpose of this training, it's my senior developer, because it creates everything that I tell it to. So Claude Chat creative Q&A and drafting everyday users. Claude Cowork for collaborative research, project manager, Claude Code, terminal-based agentic coding engineers. And don't confuse these with like using Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. Each you can use Opus if you want something deep in research, or if you want to use Haiku or Sonnet. Same thing for if you want to, the Claude Code has a planning mode. You can use Haiku or Sonnet for the planning mode, and then you can use Opus for the initial big draft, your initial draft. That's what I kind of do, is I do that. So projects and artifacts, the game changers. So this is where you win. Projects are how you give Claude a long-term memory. Stop copy paste your style guide every time. Upload it to project once, and Claude never forgets your tone. So artifacts in here. Actually, I forgot. Oh, it's artifact here, so it didn't include it there. But and artifacts. So this is why I use Claude over anything else. Is when it writes codes, a window pops up on the right and renders out live. You can see a website or a chart or an application that's being changed in real time as it's being built. No more copy paste, refresh, error loops. I actually ran into that issue today when I was trying to build something over on React, and and it was just, I copied the code, pasted over to React, run it, and it's just nothing, just blank. And I gave up pretty quickly, because I'm like, I don't know how to debug it. I'm not a developer or software guy. So we got connectors and MCP. So we got projects here. Ground Claude in your docs, upload style guides, and code base for persistent memory. So projects is pretty much self-explanatory. Connectors. Connectors, you link Claude to your Google Drive or GitHub. No more manual uploads. Yeah, it's kind of like I believe it's a version of like an API integration. It's what that is. And MCP, Model Context Protocol, doesn't have it here. It's actually on the next page. So, and it's the future. It lets Claude securely interact with your local data. It moves from being an AI that talks to an AI that does. Yeah. So the skill layer using MCP Cloud can talk to your local database, browse the web securely, or execute scripts on your terminal. It moves from talking to doing. So we have the connector ecosystem. Cloud now lives where your data lives. By using connectors, you can render AI in your real-time company without manual copy and pasting. So where's skills? Okay, so skills is actually huge. Skills is essentially um, like a preset of rules that you essentially save outside of your chat, your cowork, your code, and every time you want to, it's like an injection of a special perimeter. It's a perimeter for your projects, pretty much. So an example would be, I always want my prompts to be in, let's see, um, I want my prompts to always be referred to as third person. You save it as a skill, and you said draft me an essay, um, for the story, or create me a book, and you inject third person skills. It will create everything for you in third person perspective. So that's kind of like that's obviously a terrible example, but that's one way of skill can be utilized. It's a very neat, very useful thing. So we got yeah, that's what I got. So questions. Claude is evolving faster than any other tools right now. If you're following my Learning AI series, make sure you hit the subscribe. I'm going to be doing a full battle royale between Claude Code and some major ChatGPT potentially and Gemini, and you don't want to miss that. Drop a comment. Which model are you using the most? Peace.